Yes. Sorry. I don't know. It is a great new year up until the fact that Mean Gene Okerlund passed away. So there's the first depressive moment of 2019. Rest in peace to Mean Gene Okerlund. All Elite Wrestling is here. What does that mean? Plus, Monday Night Raw's ratings fall below the 2 million mark for the second time. And what is WWE going to do going forward? Plus, Toni Storm's pussy leaks over the internet, forcing her to leave the internet. That is fucking terrible. And a whole bunch of other shit. NXT tonight. What's coming up at the Royal Rumble? What is WWE going to do? I don't know. But we're going to find out tonight on Out of Nowhere, episode 135. Tonight we're joined by the same old mother effers. Connor from Kayfabe and his Christmas tree of questionable sexual orientation. And Jake DeMarco is in the house as well. Oh yeah, you can hear Connor from Kayfabe on Friday nights at 8 p.m. on the Fight app. The Fight app on your phones. You should download it. It's a lot of fun. And what else we got? A bunch of stuff. Well, I guess we should get the sad shit out of the way and just talk about Mean Gene Okerlund, because I didn't know. I thought we had another 5 years of Mean Gene, to be honest, but
at least
I guess not. I mean, I should have known better by looking at his hands when I saw him live. But yeah, man, this guy's a goddamn. This is like the Hulk Hogan of announcers, one of the greatest announcers of all time. The voice of the first WrestleMania, really. And it's really sad, man. I was all fucked up on my stream this morning when AruShinchu told me. What did you think about Connor?
Yeah, it was one of those ones that really like hurt you in the heart, you know, like that felt. I felt that one, like you know, you see all passings every once in a while, and sometimes, you know, we're still sad, but this one, like, you know, it's like that old phrase, right in the childhood, because it feels like that. Mean Gene was like the voice of WWF for so many years, and so many classic moments. I was scrolling through my Twitter feed seeing so many freaking either Mean Gene interviews or Mean Gene moments. I actually just shared to Jake right before we got on here the one where he's training with Hulk Hogan for a tag match.
Oh yeah, with the
and he's like, he's fucking smoking a cigar at breakfast. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck was that about? So just like classic shit like that. And I was listening to some shoot interviews about him, and I know you met him, Joe. I met him once too, and it's just such a nice guy, but also fucking great sense of humor too.
Yeah, it was so funny that he was that funny. Like, he got me, dude. Like, I mean, you don't usually get me, and like what happened was, what sold it for me was I was looking at his hands, and he has kind of hands like me, kind of like fat hands. But his hands are really swollen, and one of them was extra swollen, and the other one wasn't. So when I was looking at him, this is while I was interviewing him, I was like, whoa, I was like, that looks like something doesn't look right there. And then I was like, anyway, whatever. And I just continued with the interview with him. And I was like, I can't believe I'm sitting here with Mean Gene Okerlund. This is a guy that I've watched, since I was 4 years old or 5 years old. And one of the announcers that I always, when I was a little kid and I'd pretend to be an announcer, and I think this plays into part of when I used to do sales and when I do the show now, and people go, where the hell's your Boston accent? And when I was a kid, I would really practice having the Mean Gene's type of, I'd really try to have that voice. And I think Mean Gene helped me learn how to do phone sales, because when I did phone sales, I'd eliminate my Boston accent where I was able to turn it on and off. And I still do it to this day on the show. And I always think of him with that. But so many of them, like Mean Gene, Gorilla, Vince, like everybody all rolled into one. They all contributed, but Mean Gene was just a huge part of it. He has that great voice. But so I'm looking at his hands and I'm thinking, like, Jesus, like that really looks bad. Looks like something's gonna happen. And then when he went, oh, like, and he like stopped for a second, and he sold like he was having a heart attack or something. And I really like that was he had no idea that I'd been thinking about that before he did that. So that really sold it for me. So like I was like really terrified, dude. Like I was convinced
that's great.
He was having a problem.
It sounds so kiss-assery, but that's like one of my favorites from him. Is just how he interacted, especially with Leah.
Yeah,
the whole WrestleFest thing. Like he was so great, trying to basically steal her away from you.
How's your wife, Leah? He was looking at that.
That was. But he always had that like above all else personality. So many people today. From Trek onwards, Connor said it. So many people on Twitter that I've spoken to, everybody's devastated, obviously, but they all said one thing in common.
What's up?
When speaking about Mean Gene, is the fact that he made everything feel special. He made the heels feel even more evil and the faces even more heroically epic. He brought like a certain amount of credibility to the craft, and every segment, scenario, moment, interview that he was a part of just elevated it entirely to a whole new level. So
one thing that Mean Gene did that they just don't do, and right now they really don't do, is they bring on these puppet robot bimbos on the WWE now, and they say, "Oh, hi, I'm Charlie Caruso, or I'm Samantha Warts, or whoever the hell," and then they go, "And my guest now is Bobby Lashley," and then like Bobby comes out, and then she's like, "Bobby, in your match, you said that this would happen," and then Bobby says some things, and then he's like, "That's a fact," blah blah blah. And then he walks away, and then the girl just looks at him like, and like that's it.
Yeah.
But like Mean Gene would not only. Here's the thing: Mean Gene would not only sound like a professional broadcaster, but he also had a goddamn personality. These people don't have personalities for the most part now. They just sit there cucked like, oh, Mean Gene would be
balls.
like, yeah, he had balls, holy balls. Then.
That's the best way to describe it. Like I remember, like if you go back and listen to him interviewing the heels, he would get a couple jabs in, and like you'd see like the heels like ready, like watch your mouth, and like they'd ready to like kick him, but like he would always get a couple of little jabs in with the heels, like. And that's the thing that's really like that's one of the reasons why JR is one of the most beloved announcers, because he's so over the top and he has a personality. And same with Mauro Ranallo doing his commentary on NXT. It's the fact that they have these like relatable personalities, and Mean Gene just didn't give no shits. He was great to just like tell it like it is, like that's absolutely fucking horrendous and despicable what you did, and then just goes right and like she sets up like the heel. So as opposed to just being like, this is what you did last week, and then, like you just said, Joe, and then
gives them a chance to offer their rebuttal, and keeps the conversation flowing rather than making it feel, so robotic.
Mean Gene would allow them to actually create. Mean Gene would allow that, because the heel would say, well, you know how Hulk Hogan is, he has to pay every single person around him in order to, to get anybody to do anything for him. With us, we don't have to pay anybody. They just do things because they love us. Wait a minute now. So you're telling me that Hulk Hogan pays every single person to be his friend? You're telling me that he doesn't have real friends? What about the Macho Man Randy Savage? What about this guy? And then the heel would have to be like, well, everybody's got a few friends, but I'll tell you, like, and then they have to, and they'd go back and forth, and it's like Mean Gene would have that rebuttal of, wait a second, so you're telling me that you had nothing to do with what happened, but Charlie Caruso, or like, maybe not Charlie, she's actually one of the better ones, but still, I don't like her, but like those other girls, and they would just be like, I'm here with Jon Snow, and then he'd be like, oh, I'm in Game of Thrones. Okay, and that's it. There's like nothing else to the goddamn interview, and I don't understand why that can't be done. But anyway, so for a guy who sounds very, I get not monotone, but you know what I mean. Mean Gene has this sound to his voice that just sounds like everything, but he had a personality. If he just had that voice. And he was just, I'm here with Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan, tell us what has happened last night at the main event. And then Hogan said what he said. Anyway, back to ringside. But that's not all he did. He had a personality. And these other people don't have personalities now. They're just like, they're kind of goofy. Or they're completely overshadowed by the wrestler. Where, like you said, Mean Gene is overshadowed. And his job is to put over the wrestler. You know what I mean? And he does appear that way. But he did push back like a reporter. And yeah, you just don't see that at all anymore. I can't even remember I can't remember who the last interviewer is that. You know what? Byron Saxton's pretty good, and I'm not comparing him to Mean Gene, but Byron Saxton, when he's in the back interviewing people, he's been pretty decent because he goes back and forth with people. If you watch Byron Saxton, but nobody else does. But now Byron Saxton's a commentator, so you got me all freaked out. But the bottom line is, man. Rest in peace to Mean Gene Okerlund. I know we shouldn't be that surprised. He was older and whatever.
They did say it was of natural causes as well. So.
Right. It just sucks, man. You want to keep seeing that guy. I want to see him at cons. I want to hear more interviews with him. I want to hear more things with him. And we're not going to get that now. So that's too bad. And it's sad, man. It's starting to make you're starting to see. We're in our 30s now. I know some people in their 40s already been seeing this, but we have really started to see in the last 5 years a lot of people, leave. And it's starting to be like, wow, man, like life is, I don't know, it's weird, dude. I don't know. It's just like weird to see all these people passing away and dying. Younger kids don't care as much maybe because they're like, oh, yeah, I know he's a legend, but I don't really know. But we grew up with him all the time. But anyway, we'll move on from Mean Gene.
Time is fleeting and, you become more aware of it, so.
Yeah. But I'm not comparing Byron Saxton to Mean Gene. I'm just saying he was one of the better backstage interviewers right now. And I guess Renee Young can kind of do that sometimes, but even she seems a bit
timid.
Yeah, like I don't know.
Backstage she has this great presence for the most part, and then on the mic, for the commentary team, what a difference! Just night and day. You just don't want to hear her speak. I don't know how they messed that up, but.
Yeah,
leave it to the Alexa to do so.
not Alexa Bliss. I mean Alexa from Amazon.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That's it. That's how I took it. Alexa, tell me what happened during the match.
Seriously.
Oh, you want Siri to get in on it too? That can happen.
And then Cortana will be
Cortana. Super chat from Daniel Mrs. X. Look in my eyes. What do you see? I don't know. I see Roman Reigns. In a hospital bed.
Look in my eyes. What do you see?
Look in my eyes.
Am I the only one who misses Roman?
Yes. No, I mean I miss trying to book Roman the right way, even though WWE wouldn't do it. But I don't miss him. Shit bomb.
I just wanted to say
I'm sad about what happened to him.
And Jake, fellow JCS Army members.
Hello.
I'm probably gonna pass out in a few from these new meds they put me on and can't stay awake.
Oh, Haskell.
Even though my world is collapsing, your words of support does mean everything. Love you.
Haskell, man, I hope you're okay, bro. I'm glad that you responded, dude. I was very concerned about you, man. I love you, bro.
Love you,
I know the Christmas and the holiday and the New Year's are horrible, can be awful. But, you got to just stick it out. You just got to go, man. You got to stick it out, and you got to, I don't know, man. So you got to get medication, apparently.
Think about it. You made it through the holidays. You're stressed about it so much. It's past. Now you look forward.
Yeah, now it's a new year. Exactly. I mean, dude.
New year, new you. Happy New You.
I remember when we had $1 meals every day, Happy New You. Yeah, Haskell.
Happy New.
Yeah.
That's more accurate in my year.
You know what? Start watching like the most unsuccessful YouTubers ever. You'll start feeling better.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, like the guys who go to the Wi-Fi place and they sit there and they have like 8 viewers on their videos, and they're like, "Today I got evicted. but I still have my phone and I can still come here to McDonald's. And like, if you watch enough of those guys, you'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna be all right.
I don't know if it was epic or incredibly sad to see somebody bring their TV, their phone, their Xbox, everything to go and stream from a McDonald's.
What?
Yeah, they were playing Fortnite on their Xbox, and they brought like a little mini monitor, their Xbox, all their stuff, so that they can go and stream themselves playing live. But
hey, it's better than
it's
better than going in and
but
demanding a taco like that chick did.
Oh my god, yeah,
Oh,
that too.
jeez.
You know, she went in, I want a fucking taco, you cocksuckers. The people are like, this is McDonald's. Cracked up bitch.
Just take a bun and fold it in half. Here you go.
By the way,
Yell, subscribe.
I want to expose myself. Before the show went on the air, one of my ways of getting in contact with these guys to make sure everybody's ready to go, I sent this message, and I just want everybody to hear what these guys have to listen to from me. So enjoy the message I sent to Connor and Jake to make sure everybody was ready to start the show tonight. Here it is. Hey brothers, I'd say about 5 minutes. Call up and I'll be there. And if you're coming, I also want to drill both of you guys. I want to take you out back and show you guys a good time. You know what I mean? You know, I don't know, a little bath water, a little wine.
That's what made
couple
me lose
dildos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe a dog too thrown in. Just throw a dog in for fun of it. No one's ever done that before, huh? You know. You know, maybe you'll treat our dicks like bones. You know, like a bone, like a doggy bone, doggy dish bone, huh? All right. See you guys there at the party.
Dogs are so last year. You got to entice me with something new, something bigger and better.
I love how you're like going like, huh? Like you're expecting us to respond back, like doggy dish bone, huh?
Oh my god! I was trying to do my best Will Ferrell impression. You know, supposed to be that was the Will Ferrell impression.
Oh, fucking.
Yeah, maybe have a dish bone, maybe have a dog bone, huh? Maybe one of us could be wearing for some reason a bow. Maybe someone would be wearing a bow for no
collar.
reason.
Maybe we get that inflatable sheep. Who knows?
What is going on with Corey Graves at this point? He's been a real, scumbag on Twitter the past 2 days.
That's nothing. That's not new to me. Like, I mean,
it's not new, but he's been like, I don't know, just thirstier than ever. I know it's like partly him continuing with the storyline and whatnot, but he's been, Mandy Rose, I can, have you slide to my DMs anytime. And then he talks about, Becky. He's like, oh, I can't wait for our romance angle. Like, he's just nonstop. But Becky, I love the fact that she tore him apart in such a way that fits with her character. But she's like, the last thing I could use in my life right now is romance with a middle-aged emo poured into skinny jeans. And maybe you should wait till Monday to reply when you'll have help with what to say. I thought that was great. But, woof, she's,
Straight fire.
Yeah,
it's always entertaining. So
that is
Oh, that was Bailey, not Becky. Excuse me. Becky got him even after the fact.
Oh,
no,
really?
That was Becky. Excuse me. Bailey was one of the ones that said that she was having a good year, and that's when Graves said, "I can't wait for our romance angle." So,
Jesus Christ! Maybe
Becky just loves to hop in and tear him down to size. So
he's looking at Tony Storm's nudes.
That's exactly it. And I sound like an ass here. Yet again, leave it to me. But I feel terrible. You don't want to see anybody's, privacy.
Why the hell do you sound like an ass for saying that?
Because part of me is like, well, I had seen the leaks and what she had posted.
I jerked
Instagram
off to him already. I mean, who cares? Be happy.
4 times, but what she's posted on Instagram and Twitter herself is far more revealing and risque than anything the leaks provided.
What do you mean by that? What are you talking about?
There's no real nudity on the leaks from what I've seen so far. I mean, she's pretty much covered. Well, then there's shots of her ass, but
why did she? Way, did you ever see the cover of what cover that magazine is with Ronda Rousey, where she's like not wearing anything and she's just holding her hands up like this?
Yeah.
That's more revealing than I think some of the stuff that Tony Storm had been
then
leaked, at least so far.
Why did she leave social media then?
I guess fans were tagging her in it.
Well, she is very young, as Connor had said, and it's a huge invasion of privacy. So I can get being upset and being weary about, I can't trust anyone. I don't want to post anything online and feeling, dejected in that sense.
Right.
I was just saying that there's a certain like contrast to it all because you're so willing to, there's modeling photos of her completely naked, just standing there covering herself. Yet what she had posted or had stolen from her is essentially she's more covered. So some of the things that were through modeling agencies were more revealing than, what she had gone through at this point in time. Doesn't make it any better, granted. I find it odd, in this day and age. It's, I don't know, it's hard to word, but, one's okay, the other's not. So granted, these were private, personal photos. You don't want those out. But I just found it odd that she was so quick to leave. So.
Oh, yeah. What is this? All Japanese women are having a laser surgery?
I send that to you guys in the chat just as a fucking random fact, and just read it when you get a chance. I fucking died laughing.
Oh my god, dude.
I can understand why Paige had a breakdown. She had the videos and
shit.
Hardcore, sex videos released, full-on sex tapes and
yeah, can we talk about real quick, not to go into social justice not to go into social justice warrior stuff, because you got to say that so all the other, because we all know that I'm tend to be a middle guy, but when you say one thing or the other side gets all angry. But the bottom line is, can we talk about what a badass Paige is? Like, to be able to not to be on TV, to still be doing what she's doing, and to not have had like a fucking mental breakdown and just disappeared.
Well, she almost did, but yeah,
to
be able to bounce back from it.
Holy shit! Like, dude, she was like, dude, can you imagine there was a video out of you stuffing a purple dildo in your ass, telling a camera you're practicing, and then fucking yourself with it, and
there's not.
All the and all the yeah, maybe we will see that. We never know with you, Connor. You never know with Connor what he might be.
That
up
was
to.
my Christmas present. He was like, "I'm practicing."
It was an ornament.
Yeah, right.
Well, 3D and all. No, honestly, the way she handled everything, I know she reached a breaking point and was suicidal about it, but
yeah, dude. I really got to give it to her.
So much, and then dealing with everything
and
with
her injury,
Del Rio situation,
and her career,
being injured.
Her career's over.
Yeah, talk about piling the shit on. So everyone's staring at your asshole.
Yeah,
and your boyfriend and you are beating each other senseless in an airport. You have drug violations that you're being suspended from your job from, and now your career is over. Like, bam, bam, piling the shit on left and right there. My God. I
was going to say, man, she knows how to take it on the chin, but I don't think that's the right thing to say.
She knows how to put a load on the
chin and
belt.
up the ass, And
dude,
Brad's filming. But.
Dude, I see Paige the opposite way. I see not the opposite way, but I see her like, to me, that's like rock star shit. To me, like, that's why, like, I'm not. It's like, I think what she did is awesome. I know that sounds crazy. Like, yeah, certainly I wouldn't want my daughter being Paige, but what I'm saying is, like, I see it as awesome. She's like a fucking rock star, dude. She's banging all these
crazy,
dudes.
Out of control life.
They're jizzing on the women's belt. She's out there with Del Rio just like a crazy person. All this, like, sort of rebellion type shit. I mean, dude, she's just like a rock star. That's why it was awesome. It's just too bad her goddamn neck had to get injured by Sasha Botch, and now she's fucked up. But
what always goes through my mind is, because we all either have the imagery of her. You've done it with the Monetize This title. You kiss the belt, you got it. And imagine you're the NXT Women's Champion at that point, and you got your belt, and beforehand you're like, wow, I love this thing. I'm so proud of it. Oh, what's this? I got a video I got to check out. You just see Paige and somebody coming all over the
you're
title.
Thinking of
like, oh God,
Brad Maddox like wiped his ass with this belt. Like, you're thinking,
shit, mom.
Fuck.
Fun fact about Mean Gene: he sang the national anthem at the first WrestleMania.
That's right. Now, something I always thought when I was a kid. By the way, Dick has herpes. Dick has herpes. Thank you for the $5 and becoming a $5 shit bum. Dick has herpes. Wow. Yeah, I always thought, was there like I forget the story, and Connor's like kind of like good with this background stuff. I don't even know, and I was 5 years old when I saw it. Did somebody not show up to sing the anthem because Mean Gene had to sing it, and it was so bizarre? I mean, he has fine voice kind of, but it was like, oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? Like, it was very bizarre.
I think they were supposed to, I'm trying to remember who it was. I have to
It was something like there was somebody I assume somebody else was supposed to sing the anthem. And
yeah, let me take a look here because I do remember that somebody was supposed to be there, and then you're right, it was like just like really effing weird. But let me see if I can find it.
He did a great job. You got to get, Vince was like, well, Gene, you got to go out and sing the anthem.
Yeah, there's a huge thread here with a lot of things because it says like nothing against me, Gene, because celebrities lined up. You figured they would have had some big musician, and there's a lot of different thoughts on who could have been in there. Everybody from like Phil Collins was supposed to be there. They said at one point, or I don't know what's true, but
yeah, it was just always bizarre.
Yeah, it definitely.
I mean, it wasn't bizarre. And here's the thing, actually, if you're just a random person tuning into WrestleMania, it probably wasn't bizarre. It's only bizarre to people like us who, when you're like 6, 7, 8, or 9, you go back and watch WrestleMania 1, and you're like, what the hell's Mean Gene singing the anthem? That's bizarre. So it seems weird to us because it's out of place.
A 2015 interview with Mean Gene with the New York Daily News article, like I said, for 2015, says the original anthem singer, whom he did not want to name to this day, this is back a few years ago, fell through, forcing a last-minute no-choice option to have Gene Okerlund deliver a fairly smooth rendition of it, which was, considering it was a last-minute decision to have him do it, all things considering, it worked out well. It's funny that 30 years later, they don't want to tell us who it was that backed out. Maybe in 20 years, we'll find out at the 50-year anniversary, so.
Now, he did the Star Spangled Banner, right? Not the, Oh Beautiful, right? Or whatever. What the hell the song is? I don't even know. I'm
National Anthem?
The National Anthem. He did the regular National Anthem. He didn't do the America the Beautiful. Because,
no, he didn't do America the Beautiful.
What year did they start? I wonder if next year they started America the Beautiful, because then Vince decided he thought America the Beautiful was a better song to do than the National Anthem.
I think there was 3? WrestleMania 3?
Imagine Mean Gene doing America the Beautiful.
Think about how many celebrities messed that up, accredited singers that can't get that out right.
Yeah, and Mean Gene just went up there and was like, oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? Like, that's essentially what his tone was.
Yeah.
But so proudly
no flubs,
we hail
no missteps.
At the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Like, that was basically what Mean Gene did. But fuck it.
Ray Charles was the first one to do it at WrestleMania 2. Aretha Franklin did it at 3.
There you go.
So you got to do it like this.
So Phil Collins, I guess, was rumored to be at 1. So it might have been Phil Collins that backed out. But.
Yeah, there's no record as to who officially was supposed to, because they kept it very hush hush.
It's just
maybe we can ask one of those 3 a.m. YouTubers to ask Mean Gene later tonight. You know?
Well, it's just so different because, like, what the fuck does that mean? Did that go over my head? Like, what are you talking about?
Every time a celebrity dies, there's some YouTube asshole that's like, 3 a.m. challenge. I'm going to contact Mac Miller and XXXTentacion and Mean Gene Okerlund with my paranormal box. Ready?
Dude, I want to stab those people. Do you know what I want to do? I want to kill their mothers and then do that same video about their mothers.
Yeah, we're going to contact, J Station's mom.
Yeah. It's like, dude, and then people watch the thing like, oh my God, oh. It's like, dude, I hope your mother gets fucking lung disease. And then you fucking have to do one of these about your own mother, you retard. But no.
Hey, Mom, did you do the dishes?
Jesus.
Dude, you couldn't have any more opposite songs. Oh, say, can you? Oh, beautiful for spacious skies. Like, it is so much nicer.
For amber waves of grain.
One of the best ones ever was WrestleMania 10, because it starts out with Little Richard and he's all normal, like, oh, beautiful. And then, like, the chorus, the people
you get, like, really into it.
Yeah, they start clapping and then the music kicks up a bit. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies around. Like,
yeah, he goes full Little Richard.
It just goes full Little Richard. America. America,
Everyone's like, Kevin Dunn's like, Vince, he's off the rails. This is great.
Yeah. Oh, you know Vince was losing. I
I
watched it a few minutes ago, dude. I can remember being a kid, dude. That crowd was quiet, like, yeah, WrestleMania. But then Vince was like, ladies and gentlemen, Little Richard.
How do you make that name sound like so dynamic and manly with Vince? Little Richard.
Yeah, dude, it was just fucking. You were like, yeah, he could have said, fucking, ladies and gentlemen, William Jones. Like, and you'd be like, yeah, William Jones. Who the fuck is that?
Didn't matter.
Yeah, it did.
Roseanne Barr.
Walter Payton.
The Tooth Fairy, just.
Yeah. He could have been anybody. Dude, ladies and gentlemen, Saddam Hussein.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adolf.
Yeah! Oh, my God. Vince McMahon, he brought back Adolf. We've been waiting like 50 years for this.
Hold your ground. Hold your ground. Sons of Westeros, of Essos, my brothers, I see in your eyes the same fear that would take the heart of me. A day may come when the courage of men fails, when we forsake our friends and break all bonds of fellowship.
Jon Snow, thank you for the 316 donation. Hell, winter's coming, isn't it? When's the fucking Game of Thrones debuts in a couple months, right?
Winter's fucking here.
2035.
2035, yeah. George R. R. Martin will be dead.
They should have made me fucking Jon Snow.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
Imagine
Drew Galloway. Drew McIntyre has to step in. The actor that played Jon Snow has passed away today. Today, they finally announced the replacement. It's going to be Drew McIntyre.
Damn right. He just gets off his horse and claymores everyone.
I'm going to stab you with my giant Johnson, Khaleesi fucking bitch. You look at my cock.
Stand no chance.
He gets a woman. It's like, I will make you my wife, and then just turns around and claymores her too. He goes, fuck it.
Yeah, dude, imagine him claymoring someone off a horse in a movie. That'd be sick. Dude, that'd be sick. A claymore on some guy riding a horse with a sword.
They're fucking jousting, and he just gets up on the horse and then jumps off and just claymores him on the way off.
Dude,
that's a part of the rules.
Great.
I make the damn rules.
I make the damn rules. He'd be great in one of those shows, dude. He would be like Drew McIntyre. Seriously, his accent, what he looks like, he'd be a badass dude. He could be a king or something in something. He's got a fucking acting career. He doesn't realize it, I don't think. But if he just wants to leave wrestling right now and just be a cold king that kills people, dude, can you imagine if he was a king that was like a terrible, like murderous king, and the whole movie he's just in a throne, the whole movie commanding terrible shit, like babies are dying, children and people are burning, and then by the end of the movie, the good guy shows up at the castle, and for the first time, Drew's character, he stands up on the throne, then reaches to a sword nearby and pulls it out, and then begins a battle with some guy. Fucking, give me that movie. I don't even know what movie that is, but give it to me. I don't even know. I don't even need to know. Like, I want that to be a movie.
A bunch of sheep that look scared in the corner.
And the looks on his face, dude, he's good at acting. The facial looks the McIntyre's had. He looked, the guy's like, go ahead, draw your sword, and let's find out whose blood will spill on the floor of fucking Elgatron, or whatever the fuck.
Go ahead and draw your sword, you fucking pussy.
Draw your sword, you cunt. Holy shit, dude. Dude, that's how good he is. Sign me up for that, dude. I'm marking out for a dude. That's how good he is. And women are touching their pussies. I mean, come
Sexy
on.
Bastard.
Get it going. Where's Hollywood calling Drew McIntyre for that?
Somebody make this happen. No, he'll be in the Marines 7,
Yeah.
Dude, remake Braveheart. Fuck it.
Oh, right.
Yeah. That's a good point. Remake Braveheart with him.
Yeah.
Fucking, I'm William Wallace, and I'll fucking claymore someone's head.
They'll modernize it.
And I'm not anti-Semitic.
I'm not.
In SJW's field day,
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Now, if you say the wrong thing in Scotland, they put you to jail, so much for that.
Exactly.
I made a joke. Get in the jail.
Fuck.
You cocksucker, and we're going to have our fucking...
Well, at least it's not lonely in here.
They'd say there's no genders, but I'm in jail with a dick in my ass. I can tell you there is.
This ain't no X.
Shit bomb.
Here's a weird coincidence, Joe. Daryl Dragon of Captain and Tennille fame, Mean Gene and Super Dave all die on the same day and all at age 76.
Dude, okay, I knew about them dying. I didn't know they were all 76. Tennille is 76, and with Daryl Dragon, what? Oh no, who's the other guy? No, Dave. Super Dave died. Yeah, and Mean Gene, Dave. They're all 76. ABELsalasJR, thank you. That's crazy, but not. Weird. I know Super Dave is in Curb Your Enthusiasm. He's always funny in that show. He's the guy who was in the scene that ripped off my refrigerator skit. He's like kind of like tall, soft-spoken, dry. He actually reminds me of John Laurinaitis. If you've seen Curb Your Enthusiasm and you know Super Dave, he kind of sounds like him. Like he sounds like John Laurinaitis. Oh, God damn it. I downloaded this fucking thing earlier today. And
you just finished?
No, I downloaded this thing on this website by accident earlier today. And all these fucking spam messages are coming up on Windows 10 for me. Like, virus, download. Oh, God. That's
going to be a bitch.
I get notifications endlessly from one of those things. It's like, oh, God.
I can't get rid of it, though. I haven't restarted my computer. It's like your device could be infected. Instead of pop-ups, like old pop-up ads, they're coming up like Windows 10 alerts.
Yeah. And mine was just through like Facebook Messenger, but it was one of the games or something, and it went ahead and it was endless. My God. You actually get a virus nowadays, you're screwed.
Yeah, I think there's a problem. Yeah, dude, look at this. Shit. I'll show you if it lets me show you this. It won't stop. It won't go away. It won't let me highlight it. It won't let you screenshot that? Are you kidding me?
It's protecting itself.
So not only do you have to deal with the annoying noise, you can't show everybody else the annoying noise you're hearing.
Yeah, I can't even show you guys what I want to show you.
It's like a fucking ghost.
A fucking ghost of cock. That's so weird that it won't let me show you it. That's really weird. Potential virus is found. You know, it's telling me that.
Of course.
It says click to remove. That don't seem right. God damn it. I'm going to have to figure that out. Anyway, let's get back to the shit, man. I mean, what do you guys, by the way, we're going to take phone calls, 339-226-6610. Also, if you guys want to donate, first of all, we get to use the donations. I get to use the donations, so feel free to donate. But also, when you donate, ask a question so we can answer it for you or talk about whatever you want to talk about via donations. So if you're feeling like you're in the giving mood, feel free to use the donations. And the description box below, it's Twitch alerts or Streamlabs. You can use that and donate. Or you can use the super chat button down below. If you don't have any money or you just want to, call us for free instead at 339-226-6610. Whatever you feel like doing, it's up to you guys. But I'm putting it out there for you if you want to play games and have some fun.
Basketball dance off the concrete. I mean, I'm just so sick of you little meth head devil worshippers. I'll be honest, I'd like to take a big bite out of your face.
APZ.
What's up, Joe?
What's up?
Jake Koner. It's me, Angel Pimentel. I'm back, baby. Happy belated Xmassin. Happy New You, sipping a Heineken and hoping my girl wants to have sex tonight.
Hell yeah.
Amen.
Other than that, it's good to be back.
Ah, man.
Yeah.
Buenos noches. What's up, Anel Pimentel? And dude, he's sitting there simping a Heineken hoping his girl wants to do it tonight. That's when you know first world problems, baby. That's all. That's amazing. I'm
what do you mean want to do it? What does that mean?
Well,
Want.
you know, sometimes girls, you know, there's different people are different, man. I don't know. Some girls don't want to just do it all the time.
If she's gender X, she's always good to go.
I mean, it's weird because like I've known girls
talking about fluid.
I've known girls in the past that are like they're angry that their dude doesn't want to do it, and I'm like, what kind of fucking dude do you have? What kind of boyfriend do you have? And how bad do you smell? Because this is really weird.
It's one of the two. It's got to be like ranch dressing down there.
Is it low tide down there?
It's pretty much like 90% of the time I want to do it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Leah's probably like 20%. Me, it's like 90. So like,
so you put that together, it's 110% satisfaction.
But that makes sense, right? Because you can't just do it every second. So there's a good little repellent there. But with that girl, with those girls being like, oh, I'm just grumpy because Dave doesn't like want to do me and he ever do me ever. It's like, what the hell kind of boyfriend do you have? What the hell's unless there's something wrong with him, like down there.
Did you tell him? Like,
Yeah, I mean, like,
Did you send him an email? Did you send him an evite?
All you have to do is go
too
like
busy playing Fortnite.
It's like
Did you
rub
make
your
a Facebook event.
Just come in the room and start
this.
doing this. If you're a girl, just come in the room and start doing this and be like, you know, I like giving out milk. You know, like, oh, all right, it's time to go. Okay, let's take Matt the Misfits on the phone. He's got a microphone. Looks nice too. Look at that.
Ooh,
What's going on, guys?
What's up, baby? How are you doing?
Mean Baga Gene.
Yeah, man.
Dude,
Still doesn't feel real. I'm telling you.
It doesn't.
Dude, those Flair interviews in WCW were gold.
Yeah, shit, dude. That's going
Flair
back.
got naked for like half.
You know, a lot of people associated him with WWE, but I knew him growing up while watching WCW.
Oh,
That's
that's
how
cool.
that's how I got introduced to him.
I didn't know him because I was in Boston and like we just didn't see that shit up here. But yeah, I've gotten to discover that over the years. You know, I didn't get to see those moments. That was before he went to. For the people that are younger, that's before he went to WWF. So before that, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was after he went to WWF.
Oh, really? Are you not talking about before?
Yeah. No, he came to WCW in '93.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about '93. Okay, I get what you're saying.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well then I know all those interviews. I did watch that.
Yeah, I grew up because I'm 24 and I was watching I watched WWF and WCW, but that's how I knew Mean Gene was from WCW. And that
Where was Gene before? Where was Gene before WWF then? Like, what was the place I'm thinking of?
AWA.
AWA.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm thinking AWA. I'm sorry. Okay. That was going to drive me nuts.
Be, running around living room, 4 or 5 years old, shit like that, and then Mean Gene would come on and I'd just stop. That's what my mother would say. She'd be like, "Oh, you just stop and watch," and it was like, "Oh yeah, see, it makes a difference. You get hyped up by the other wrestlers, but with him, you'd pay attention."
Yeah, that Mean Gene, that Bash of the Beach '96 when Hogan turned heel.
Yeah.
Look
he
at
almost
this
took a bullet
crap
for
in
him.
the ring.
You hear about that over and over.
Look at all
That's
this
one of the
crap in the ring, Hogan. As far as he said something like, as far as I'm concerned, this represents blah blah blah, something like that. I'll never
These
forget
two
that.
degenerates.
Though I feel good for not watching Raw for the past 2 weeks.
Well, I mean, I
watched.
SmackDown.
I didn't see last week's Raw or SmackDown. That was the first time in like 3 years.
Yeah.
That I've not seen either show, and
Felt weird.
Even being in the hospital, I've watched, and I was like, "Wow, this is."
I watched SmackDown.
Eerie.
That's probably what put you in the hospital.
I'd say probably flatline. Jesus.
Possibly.
No, I watched SmackDown to see what they're going to I wasn't mad what they did last week. I mean, it was an okay show. That was better than what I've heard Raw was.
The SmackDown was better last night. It was better, but it was more of the same. Like here's the question we have to wonder is, are we going to see this big shakeup change start this Monday on the live show?
That's a good question.
Well, here's the thing, and while we got Matt here too, I'm gonna Raw is facing big competition this week because we got Alabama and Clemson going head to head.
Jesus.
So they're having all hands on deck kind of idea. We got Braun Strowman coming back, John Cena, Brock Lesnar. We got the Raw Tag Team title match, and we have the debut of Alexa Bliss's new segment that she's doing because now she's hosting a weekly segment on Raw. That's her new moment of bliss, is her new job, to be like the Miz's talk show and whatnot. But they're really hoping that, since it's the first Raw in 2 weeks that isn't, taped, and this is live television, that it'll help draw attention to the product. And they're also going to be teasing a few more things throughout the weekend, I guess. So they're really trying to draw in as many eyes as possible while building towards the Rumble as well. So we'll see. But, I mean, like I said, Strowman, Cena, and Lesnar, that's the 3 biggest names, essentially, you have on Raw. So that you could pull in at this time, I think.
Yeah.
Just don't get why Cena.
He's around. He's not filming anything until the 20th, I think. So he's staying to the 18th.
Yeah, he's totally.
Cena was my favorite part of SmackDown last night. I loved him and Becky's interaction. I thought it was a lot of fun. I even said on Twitter, like, it's weird to look forward to him, but
I was laughing at the first instant response to why would they put John Cena? I'm like, well, he's around, so
yeah, exactly. But he even said last night, he was honest about it. He's like, why? Why am I here? And that killed me.
Touché.
I couldn't stop laughing because it's true.
He's
like,
a goof.
Why? Someone's going to come out and tell me to get a haircut and they'll drop me faster than Nikki dropped me. And it's like, that's great because it's true, because that's what always happens. Someone always comes out, I'm going to beat your ass, and they lose. And that's what happened yet again, but it was enjoyable. So long as he's not coming back, burying anybody and taking up anybody else's spot, why hate it? That's my...
Well, people are complaining about the Andrade Cien Almost thing. Well, even though he's lost most of his matches on the main... Well, think about this. Since being on the main roster, he's took on AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, Jeff Hardy, Rey Mysterio, and John Cena in his first year on the main roster.
Yeah. And how many did he win?
I have no problem with that. Much, and they're not going to follow through with anything. You beat John Cena. If they don't have anything planned for you, then what was the point?
I have no problem with that, with the booking of Andrade Cien Almas. My only issue with his booking is that he didn't get a few more wins against a fewer lower guys, and that he didn't get kept on TV during all that. So when you see a guy, comes out and loses, comes out and loses, comes out and loses, and then goes away, comes out and loses, goes away, comes out and loses. Like, that's the problem. What I have is, like, you got to give this guy some kind of recovery. He's a brand new guy. Come on.
He wasn't injured. He had no reason to be off TV.
Yeah, he could beat Mike Kanellis or somebody on TV.
Yeah. I thought he beat Sin Cara.
What night?
Extreme, the two matches that he had with him. That one SmackDown and the Extreme.
I don't remember. I don't remember them.
He did beat Sin Cara, but he also beat somebody besides those.
Well, then there's not a problem. Then if he's beating people, I just don't remember it. But if
it was after so many.
But is he?
Losses,
wait a minute. No.
He would disappear
is he beating
while,
people on SmackDown though? That's my thing. Like, that's where I don't remember it. I remember him losing on SmackDown a whole bunch.
I think he did beat on that one SmackDown. He did beat
Who else has he beat? I know he's lost to Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles.
I think that's some jobber he beat on that one taped episode.
Let me take a look here and see if I can find it.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the thing though. There's a lot of these guys that if they don't have a plan with them, it's like, well, then what's the point of fighting for them to get an opportunity?
Well,
it feels like Finn Balor was the second highest, I believe, person for wins this entire year, and I was like, really? On Raw, really? Because it feels like all he did was lose all year, but he won the second most matches of the year. I saw that statistic. Finn Balor.
Oh wow!
And I was like, really? I thought he lost everything he did, but apparently he's won, almost more matches than he's lost. Let me try and find that statistic really quick, but.
I just looked him up.
The thing for Almas, I found the last match that he won, at least from what I can see, is SummerSlam. He won the mixed tag with Rusev.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Wow.
And before that, and I could be wrong, I don't have the whole list here. The last TV victory that he had was July 24th.
Was that against Sin Cara?
Jesus.
It was against Rusev.
Oh.
Wow.
So
see, the last time on TV we saw the guy win a match was July. I mean, 5 dude. Months. When there's so much, when you're on TV so much nowadays, it's like, how can that happen? How can you not like Bray Wyatt, Andrade Cien Almas, Samoa Joe
on the main roster? So
yeah, Primo and Epico had a 94% loss record for 2018. Sonya Deville had a 94.9% loss record.
Come on, give me that 100%.
Yeah, Daivari had a 96.3. in 205 Live, and then number 1 was Kurt Hawkins. There you go, 100%. But that's intentional, but still. I'm trying to find that statistic that I saw for wins. It was on Twitter, but yeah, people had counted, how many matches people had won. I was surprised.
I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, and Finn had won so many. He was number 2 or 3 on the list, and I was like, wow, he really won that many matches televised on Raw. But it feels like all he did all year was lose. So.
Apparently, they're not going to count the one win that Eric Young actually had when that DQ happened.
Yeah, no, they're.
I'm pretty sure he won that
you over.
Jesus Christ!
Speaking of what, I'm actually not that upset because he actually protected sanity last week.
Finally, I guess.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
By the way, still, when did not Eric? What's the other guy's name? Wolf start doing moonsaults. Like, when the fuck?
You can't even think of their names anymore. You were so excited for them to come up, and you're like, who?
Yeah, now you forget who they are.
But last on SmackDown, which kind of was weird. Why did WWE make it out like Carmella's a fucking dumbass? She tried to get a title match at the Royal Rumble, which is in the Royal Rumble match.
But that's happened before, hasn't it? Like, didn't Roman and like a bunch of people have gotten that?
But what's the point if you're going to be in the Rumble?
We've said this. I mean, they don't care. Again, wasn't somebody booked for the Rumble who lost the belt?
Yeah, it was Roman. He fought Kevin Owens in the opening match for the Universal Championship, and then he was number 30, and that's why people were so bullshit.
Yeah, it's like
that must seem like a Vince call though.
Yeah, but still, it's like, dude, this guy was wrestling for the belt tonight. He loses, but then gets number 30 in the Rumble. Like,
not only is he in the Rumble, he's in the best, presumably the best fucking spot.
Yeah, I mean, dude, if you're trying to get a guy booed, I mean, was Vince trying to?
This will get him over, I know.
I wonder why they're booing Roman. I don't get it. Oh,
we're gonna double dip our Roman.
So
that's what makes me upset when people say like, oh, they're not. Oh, they already have a match that night. They can't be in the Rumble. Like you just said, it happens. It's happened many times.
No, but here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan has a match against Bray Wyatt, but it's a singles match. It's a regular singles match, and it opens the Rumble. But the people want Daniel. But the people want Daniel Bryan to win the Rumble. So when number 30 clicks, all the people were hoping it was Daniel Bryan, and then it's not. But then a few years later, Vince goes, "Oh, Roman will be in the first match for the title, but then he'll be number 30." He literally gave you what you wanted with the wrong guy, like in more extreme circumstances. Like, what
did
a
he
fuck
win that
you
year at number 30?
Probably
No, he didn't. That was Randy Orton.
Oh,
okay, all right, but. I couldn't recall which one, but come on.
Orton was technically a heel at the time, and people were cheering the fuck out of him.
The part of that I didn't understand is, so why didn't AJ Styles be in the Rumble then?
Yeah, right. You know,
but
you never know.
Here's the pro con with that. I like the fact that they don't announce maybe everyone because you leave the surprise entrance. But then again, you could get like a Roman Reigns situation all of a sudden, like, ooh. But I wouldn't mind AJ being in the Rumble.
Well, speaking of AJ Styles, how do you guys feel about AJ Styles getting another match with Daniel Bryan?
I'm not thrilled with it personally. I'm kind of on the unpopular opinion side of things.
I was one of those guys too. I don't like. Why didn't that should have been Ollie?
Well, here's the thing: Styles, Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, they did nothing to earn their match. You know, it was just an arbitrary. You know, like, here you go, you're in the Fatal 5-Way. But Samoa Joe and Jeff Hardy had to go ahead and, you know, have a match to determine who was going to be the fifth man. Essentially, Ali, the only one, Ali at least pinned the champion, so you could say, all right, he has a essential, you know, claim to be the number one contender. A lot of people were against the idea of having Mustafa Ali as the number one contender. It's too soon, it's too early. But for him, he's so new that if he loses, it buries him. No, it doesn't, because it's essentially, in my eyes, strapping a rocket to his ass. You give him a great chance. Yep. He puts on another great match with Daniel Bryan. He loses, but he's saved because he's still too green, too new, essentially, on the main roster. Yep. This is going to be a learning point for him, you know, something for him to build off of. But then at least you get a good match, and you don't burn out a feud with anybody else that you could have in the future. You know, we've already seen Styles and you know, Daniel Bryan. This is old news, so much for this new era, new change shit.
Mm-hmm. I bet you Mustafa's going to get a shot like Fastlane or something.
Like my thing was, no one's buying the Rumble for a WWE title match. They're buying it for the Royal Rumble match itself.
Yeah. Usually.
So having Ali in that match is in the WWE title match is not going to be a big deal.
That's the thing. I mean, but I think it would have worked better. I mean, every participant in that was kind of a real mixed bag of shit at this point. I mean, Rey Mysterio, it'd be a dream match for some people. I'm not crazy about it with, you know, him and Daniel Bryan, but okay. Then you have the heel versus heel dynamic with him and Orton, or even Samoa Joe, but Orton is less of a threat, but Samoa Joe stands no chance, as we know. He doesn't get the job done ever, and we've already seen him and AJ. So the most interesting choice would have been to build a new star, in my eyes. I think that would have been, you know, the
that sometimes happens at Rumbles too, when you have like the random person getting a championship match. Like, remember Hardcore Holly fought Brock Lesnar for the title in 04? I brought that up in
the chat the other day.
Yeah, because everyone thought Hardcore Holly was going to win the fucking WWE championship from Brock Lesnar.
Yeah,
sure,
that was going to happen. But even when they had the triple threat, you know, when they threw Seth Rollins in, when Brock Lesnar and Cena were there, you know, that ended up being really good. And Seth, you know,
probably one of the better matches, honestly.
Yeah, Seth had the briefcase still, but yet they were like, people were like, oh, it's still too soon for him to be in. That made no sense.
I just remember the promo for that going into it when Seth is like doing an interview and Brock comes in and he goes, "You want your chair?" and he just flips the chair over.
Yeah, but I wish they were more willing to build new stars, and that's one of my main gripes. I was upset with SmackDown opening with the New Day. Joe had agreed that it was a little bit too long, but he said that, he doesn't mind the New Day coming out. I said, even 4 minutes for me is too much at this point. And apparently Vince wants to change up the New Day. That was one of the news stories I saw today.
Turn them heel.
They don't know if they want to split them up or turn them heel, but I imagine them getting split rather than be heel. I mean,
I'd be rather for the heel, for them splitting up, because I'm over the New Day.
The news didn't specify whether it means a breakup or heel turn here, but they still said that they feel like they're growing stale, and even though they're having fun, that it's time for a change. So
908's on the phone. What's up, 908? Get me going, baby. Get me going. Did we lose him?
Probably. I think so.
He might be muted or something. Oh, I think he's muted or dead. Well, we lost him. He was there. He just.
So, did you guys ever talk about the Nia Jax race thing the other night?
I did the night it happened, but yeah, we could talk about it again, really, because it's weird.
It don't make no sense, because I think she forgets that Big E was an NXT champion, Nakamura was an NXT champion, Asuka was an NXT champion.
I think she's a big fat crybaby, is what I think.
All 4 of those people are different races, and they were the top champions for Triple H.
I know. I mean, they've done some weird stuff by black guys in the past. Black males have been kind of weirded. Like, seriously.
The way you said that was really fun. Like,
black
done
males.
Stuff with black guys,
Who is the women's champion on SmackDown?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, dude, we here too.
Go ahead. Sorry.
She just wrote, "We here too," like with the black faces. It's like, what are you doing? Like, you just punched a girl in the face and got basically away with it and got promoted for it. It's just like, Nia is so annoying, dude. She's like the girl at the party looking for the last Twinkie.
And the opinion I had made like 6 months ago, maybe a little bit less, was that they were kind of whitewashing her by lighting her up a bit. I could see if she said something like that. They made her skin lighter, and they had done that with a few of the other women as well. We kind of saw it, but that's not her point here. She's just saying, "Oh, we're here too." I loved what Ty Dillinger said. His response saying that, if you're all boo-boo face about being left off the list, spend more time on the craft instead of on social medias, and congrats to the rest of the ladies.
Yeah, maybe not drop. Maybe it has something to do with dropping people on their head.
Yeah,
maybe stop dropping people on their heads and injuring people and botching all over the place. You fat lard of shit. Maybe that's what you should do.
Those girls.
And she still got an opportunity from it. She still got to, go for the Raw Women's Championship. So it's not like she was punished for anything.
Yeah, dude.
They just didn't believe in her enough to give her the belt. She won this year. She had the belt. She won at Mania, right?
Yeah.
With that big sob anti-bully story.
This is another one of those. It's like, dude, there are times to like stand up for racial bias or racism or something like that. There are times when you can do that and when maybe you should do that. This is just not one of those times. This tweet is just not one of those times. A random tweet with some women in it. We here too. What? Why are you doing that? Stop it. You're diminishing everything else. Like, there's real shit other times that you should complain about with racial stuff. This is not one of them. You look like a baby idiot.
Exactly. Evolution was one of the best things of the year. So, women were not ignored in 2018.
Yeah, she's been winning like crazy. She's been promoted.
Women were not ignored.
At the same time.
So, and that's what I was going to say. Nia Jax won, the Battle Royal at Evolution, and she won at freaking Mania. What are you complaining about?
Yeah, it's hard to ignore anyway.
What are you on about? You've had a very successful year. In hindsight, you didn't deserve much of it, but you still had a very successful year.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
It makes no sense to me.
Ember Moon's probably going to be champion.
I see her with really solid trajectory. The fans are really growing.
Speaking of which, if they're gonna give Becky Lynch, because they're obviously looks like they're gonna give Asuka a match at not SummerSlam, the Rumble. Who is Ronda Rousey gonna face?
Oh yeah, it isn't Nia Jax Samoan. You're right. What is she, half Samoan or something?
Nia?
Yeah, isn't Nia
she's
Samoan.
She's Samoan.
So she just saying because
The Rock.
Not she eats Samoas, but she probably does. But
So
she is
oh my
Samoan.
God. so I guess she's saying that just because some Samoans are like darker tan that we don't like, people don't like them or something. Is that what?
She's just saying that they're only focused on white women. That anybody else of color is not getting any recognition. Because all 4 pictures were white women.
I just heard that, Connor.
Do you?
Yeah, exactly, Jacob. Gay frogs everywhere. That's what it is.
I just
I know.
Oh my God. I don't know. I think this diminishes, because when they do it now, when a black woman does become champion or a black guy becomes champion or something like that, what happens is people think, they just gave it to them now just to be like whatever. It's like, oh man, like you're ruining it. Like for when they probably would, like someone is going to be champion. There's an Asian champion too. I mean, Asuka's the champion. Dude, she looks like the sun melted somebody. Come on. Like, what do you think if they're racist towards everybody else? Do you think that they would want another pale ghost being the champion? Why isn't Casper the Friendly Ghost the champion then? All right. Why isn't White Stay Puft Marshmallow Man the champion? Why is Asuka the champion? If they're so racist, they'd be like, we can't make Asuka the champion. She doesn't have the white Casper skin. Oh, she doesn't have the creamy fluff color.
She doesn't have the round eye.
Who the fuck cares, dude? She doesn't have. Did you say she doesn't have the round eye?
Yeah.
But no, it's just so ridiculous.
Oh my God.
Listen, there is a valid thing there about WWE and like race or whatever, but the counterpoint to the racism in WWE, potential racism in WWE, is that it's so hard for anybody to get over anyway. Like there's been good, like look at the Revival. They're up and everybody's like, how can the Revival not be blah blah blah? Imagine if the Revival were black with the same skill level, but they're black. Can you imagine what people would think? Like, why aren't the Revival? Why isn't the Ascension? Why aren't they being pushed at all? Why are they being treated like shit? Because nobody can figure it out. Last year, nobody can figure it out. And imagine if you added that they were black on top of it. You know what I mean? That would, holy shit, things would get crazy. But it's really just that it's hard to get there. Even if you're good, it doesn't make any sense. For some reason, it's hard to do things. Part of it is the injuries. The Revival had 2 injuries, I think, since coming to the roster.
I think they're back to back too.
Yeah, they were really quick. They started pushing them again, and then they started pushing them with the Hardys, and then they got injured again, and then they went. I think that Vince and them, they went, you know what, Jesus Christ, fuck these guys. They're injured again. What the fuck? But yeah,
Finn Balor syndrome again.
Yes, yeah. Injuries have hindered these guys, and it's like a team in baseball. With an injury-prone guy, he's going to get less money. People are going to have to take a gamble on some guy who gets injured. And that's where, they have trouble pushing people for long-term goals and stuff like that. And I don't know what else. And somebody go, fucking Kite Lime in the chat goes, and I think Grimm apologized to that stupid bitch. I told him, I go, dude, never apologize to her. Dude, do not apologize to her. Like, what you did is a joke on your show that you've been doing about everybody. So if you have to apologize to Nia, as far as I'm concerned, I'm mad at Grimm's Toy Show, and I'll tell him this to his face, and I'll text him right now, and I've told him this already. Actually, I said, dude, if you apologize to Nia Jax for making fun of her the way you do, then why haven't you apologized to every single other person that you made fun of?
Exactly. Then everything else is off limits, and your apology's never good enough, anyways. Yeah, they're never going to accept it.
Exactly.
I think it's because it got so mainstream.
I just talked to Grimm a minute ago, too, by the way. It's kind of weird. I don't know if I'm supposed to say what is going on with him, but like people that watch...
we gotta go down there and take the GTS tag titles.
Yeah, we might. Well, he wants me to come down for the January Battle Royal or something.
Speaking of the tag titles, the rumor about the women's tag titles, which I'm still not happy about, it is going to go to Sasha and Bailey, and I have this weird feeling that they're going to do it just so they can turn Sasha heel.
Well, it's one of the two, right? So either Sasha and Bailey win the belts, and it's going to be that whole amazing run for a little while, so they can turn, or
At Mania is my guess.
Or, but here's the other thing, or another tag team will win, and that's when they'll turn heel on each other. Like we didn't even win the belts, that type of thing.
Because if they do the turn when they win the tag titles, that's pretty much going to tell me, yeah, you just made this whole entire belts for nothing as a joke.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, but we've heard for well over a year now that the original plans were for Sasha and Bailey to team up. The reason they scrapped their feud, the reason they turned them into crazy lesbians and all the shit they worked through was so that they could have them as a united front be the first women's tag team champions. And they've been together since before Evolution, since, around SummerSlam time when we were supposed to see the belts at Evolution. Then they had problems and planning issues. And, okay, we're going to hold off. Then they were supposed to do it at Survivor Series. Oh, we had issues. Okay, we're going to hold off. And now it's supposed to happen, by WrestleMania. I imagine at WrestleMania is when they'll crown the new women's tag team title champions. But I don't see anybody else having a shot at those titles except for Sasha and Bailey.
My whole issue is if they're not going to be able to book their men's tag team division right, what difference is it going to make with the women's tag team division?
My question is there going to be multiple belts? Are we going to see the women's champion on both shows?
If it's not going to float between Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and NXT UK, I do not want to see it.
They won't be on either NXT show. That's a guarantee.
Well, then there's no point in doing this because
because NXT is their own.
I know, but there's not enough women on the main roster to do it.
There is if they do it where there's only one set of belts and they flop them between both shows. That's one thing. Any women's team can challenge for the titles, between Raw and SmackDown.
There's another thing. They're going to randomly throw women together as teams, and I don't like that.
They do that now with the men. They've done that for ages. So I mean, it's not. I don't think when Nikki Cross comes in, I don't think she's going to be part of a team. I think her and Asuka are going to be busy. That's something I genuinely think is going to happen. And then I guess you got Mandy and Sonya Deville there. You got the Iconics. You have, if they want to bring back, hope to God they don't, the Bella Twins. You have that. You have Sasha and Bailey. But who else? You could have even Ronda and Natalya team up. You can have the Riot Squad.
Ronda's still around by
Tamina and Nia. I mean, there's quite a few women tag teams at this point. You just named, combined you and I about 10 teams, so that works.
What all depends if Ronda's still around, though.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't see her going anywhere. She's got quite a lengthy contract.
Because
a really good deal. So
because Ronda, I am pretty sure dropped the title at WrestleMania, hopefully to Becky Lynch. And
funny enough,
what? Wait a minute. What? Ronda dropped the title to Becky Lynch?
No. They're gonna wait. I don't think Ronda's dropping the title until WrestleMania to Becky Lynch. That's what I'm predicting.
Becky's gonna get Ronda's Raw title
when she wins the Rumble is what I'm saying.
Oh, so Becky will win the Rumble and then challenge Ronda. I get what you're saying, right? Okay.
That or they're gonna do the '94 ending when both. What the fuck?
And then let them both choose. Then they can both choose somebody. So then you essentially get two.
No, they're
winners.
both going to choose Ronda, and there's going to be that triple threat that everyone is talking about.
Oh man, so Charlotte and Ronda and Becky.
They're not staying away from Ronda for Charlotte being in the main event with Ronda.
That would be so weird to see someone jump over to another side. And maybe I'm crazy. Have we seen that yet?
Not technically. Asuka won the women's Royal Rumble, and she challenged Charlotte, even though she was technically on Raw.
Okay, so we have seen it.
So she switched. Yeah,
we saw
and
it.
then she went to SmackDown.
And then she went to she went. So they have challenged other brands. Yeah, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, the only time it's Benoit.
Yeah, Benoit. I believe. No, yeah, he was SmackDown guy, and he chose the world title.
I like that though. I like that there's that loophole, so that way you can really fuck around with shit before and leave it wide open. Like, oh, they're gonna challenge for so and so. Nope, fuck you. And
right. Yeah, that's a really weird. That could be super chat.
There's a video of her cat face and her tat on her hand.
Ooh. Fade to black. Thank you, bro. I'm gonna get through a couple more of these donations. I neglected them.
Are they talking about Tony Storm?
Yes. Yeah.
She's 23, by the way.
Eric Tapgun.
Paige had the leaks. Then she was assaulted by Del Rio. Then the breakdown. Then the injury and she came back. No pun intended. She is a legend.
Eric, I agree, bro. Dude, seriously, like, I'm not kidding. Like, I know that it's like, I mean, thank God she's really young, because I think the older you get, like, the more this would have freaked you out. But, dude, I'm just saying.
Tony Stormer's like 23, so.
Yeah. But I mean, but she didn't put dildos in her ass on, like, you know what I mean? Like, what Paige did is insane. Like, this is for.
I'd say go away for a month or two and then come back.
Tony?
As I said to Jake, I said that she'll probably come back to social media after a little while.
Drew versus Kingslayer, Jamie Lannister.
I'd give her
God
a week.
damn right.
Hell yeah, dude. Jamie Lannister versus Drew. The Goon.
I liked talking, asking Tony Storm about her merchandise and whatnot. So.
I like asking her about her posing. It's the old merge. Merge.
In honor of the late great Mean Gene Okerlund, Jake should interview both Ryback and Drew McIntyre live on Outta Nowhere.
Oh my God, that'd be great.
Wow. Mean Jock Okerlund. Merge, thank you. That could be a good one, man. How about, Ryback? I mean, they actually met each other at a indie show in Europe, I think, right after WrestleCon, those guys.
Fucking Ryback didn't know how to use a fucking bidet.
He tried to drink the water from the bidet.
Yeah. He thought it was meant to. He thought it was like some sort of like sinus cleanser.
Super chat party.
Oh my God, dude! He probably would do that.
Favorite for the Rumble.
Wait, is he talking about this Rumble?
Brew Crew reactions. Yeah, favorite for the Rumble.
Seth, I think.
Yeah, I think.
Or R-Truth, like that video that
Rollins and Becky Lynch. There you go. That's the obvious choice.
Rollins and Becky Lynch. Yeah,
though, depending on where Rollins is at, if he's not, I'm gonna go with. Oh, I know he's gonna win, but Iron Man, Mustafa Ali.
Wow, Iron Man, Mustafa Ali.
I think Drew might be actually.
Yeah, I think Drew's gonna have a big showing in this Rumble. He's gotta.
And Becky Lynch is gonna be the Iron Woman and win the whole damn thing.
You know how every year they have that one guy usually who's not every year, but once in a while, usually they have the one guy who's solid, who's like a threat, and it's like, wow, this guy. And
that eliminates a dozen people kind of idea.
Honestly, it could be it could be Braun Strowman that eliminates Drew, and they could feud at WrestleMania.
But that depends if he's actually going to be in the Rumble or not.
You're right. You don't know
you
that.
Just said there's a chance it could happen.
Yeah.
Well, I said Demo, but
I think Drew might be one of those guys. He's either going to dominate at the very beginning, or he's going to be that guy that comes in and butts head with the other guy who's dominating at the beginning.
Yeah. I picture him just clotheslining the shit out of people out of the ring for a while and be like, man, who's going to stop Drew McIntyre?
Fuck your shit!
Yeah, I still think that Aleister Black is going to be a surprise. Not a call-up, a surprise.
Who?
Aleister Black.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah, that could be possible.
He'll be one of the ones. I also am hearing, I don't know if you've heard this, anybody, but Dolph Ziggler's on his way out. Not permanently, but for a while. Huh. Yeah, I mean, I guess they tried to write him off on Monday by getting himself decimated by the Scottish psychopath. So
I wouldn't know. I didn't watch.
A lot of people felt like, after being hit with 2 Claymore kicks, and then they had that post-match, for the cage match beatdown that happened, it felt like Dolph Ziggler was being written off the show. And there's some details that suggest he's on his way out for a little bit. He gave a short little backstage interview afterwards, not looking happy, and there's other little small hints that Ziggler's transitioning away from WWE. He changed his Twitter handle to his real name of Nick Nemeth, things like that. So he's going out on his 2019 comedy tour, and that starts January 27th in Phoenix.
Let's all just go heckle him. Let's all heckle him.
But he's got quite a lot of, other things coming up.
Let's go heckle him.
Non-wrestling related.
Hey, Dolph, remember that big-titted bitch who said you sucked at sex? On YouTube? What was her name? Whoreface? And I'd be like, yeah, man, I remember that.
Nikki Bella! And I had to do it in the Drew McIntyre verse.
I slept with Dolph Ziggler. I was like, yeah, okay, you big lip Botox idiot.
Yeah,
Who cares? Miss Piggy. I hate that girl.
Miss Peggy, you cunt?
Yeah, remember Tommy NC said that girl is a great person too. Like he came on the show, he was like, "Oh, I just love this girl, blah blah blah," and I forget her name. But when he said her name, I went, "Hey, that's the girl that said all this bullshit about Ziggler, right?" I'm like,
Yeah.
you think that girl's a good person? Like, what are you on drugs, dude? Dude, you also interviewed a Nazi, so I mean,
You never know.
Standards are low.
Tommy don't know what he's talking about.
Does he
Fuck
ever?
her.
I
Trisha,
thought she was just
Ziggler
constantly
could be-
calling a taxi, not actually doing well.
yeah,
That was lackluster.
yeah, her pussy was. All right, what else?
We're
do we?
hooking up.
All right, so All Elite Wrestling. Let's get into that. People want. That's the last thing here to talk about, really. Except
That was
Raw
my
ratings.
main-
Raw ratings under 2 million 2 weeks in a row. What will the Raw before AEW? One more thing. What will the rating be this Monday? You think it's probably going to go up? Probably about. I'm going to say 3 million this week. Maybe
You think
3.1.
that high? Because the rating was 1.97 for the this past Monday for the New Year's Eve edition.
Mm-hmm.
The week before Christmas Eve was 1.78, and you figure 2017 Christmas Day viewership was under 3 million. That was 2.7. So they had a full million less this year.
I still think it's gonna be under 3.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be. I think I'm gonna go middle of the road and say like 250.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm gonna play.
I'm
it
going to
safe.
go with the 2.75.
That's so bad too. That's so bad that we're at
I
that
know.
point. It's so
I know.
bad. Like, dude.
But I think people are still like, I still think people are still kind of like gun shy of the whole change thing. They're still coming off of like the tape shows.
Yeah.
I think Strowman, Cena, and Lesnar will help, and I think it'll go up. No question.
Well,
about
that's what
that. I don't think it's
I'm
gonna be
seeing
over
this
3.
as a lot of people that left or had stopped watching last couple weeks. I'm seeing this as they want to return to Tribe. Okay,
Right.
let's see what's going on. Let's see what they do. So to me, this is a huge episode. If they don't give us amazing stuff this week, I believe those people are going to tune in. But then if they don't deliver something, can you imagine the next week? It's going to crash the next week. Crash.
Oh,
They
yeah.
have to-
matches now.
They're gonna
Man,
have to
they're
build a
especially-
lot because it's Rumble season, and they got 4 weeks to build to the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I think that with the possible unveiling and entering of the NXT stars, they're supposed to be trickling up slowly.
At some
You,
point.
you got, like I said, Braun, Cena, Lesnar. I think that's going to help. So I'm guessing I'm going to say 2.6 actually.
All right,
That's my
that's
my
fine,
guesstimate.
man. You win. You're come down. The Price is Right. Lewis Money said that in the chat. What's up? Yeah, I don't watch that show anymore because Drew Carey creeps me the fuck out.
Yeah, Drew Carey's not the same.
I don't. He reminds me of an anorexic pedo. So I used to enjoy Bob Barker, but something about Drew Carey. He's like, hey, come on, the wheel. And I'm like, oh, he's in the WWE Hall of Fame.
That Bob Barker thing with Robot Chicken was great, by the way.
Yeah,
You don't forget
anything.
to do to your pets or something like that.
Oh yeah, anything with Bob Barker is the shit. I want to see that guy draw a gun on somebody. I don't know why.
Oh my god!
Oh my
that
God.
reminds
Stand
me
your
of when,
ground.
the name tag on Jericho that stuck to him.
Right? Yeah.
Everything with that when he was the guest host that night was great.
But
With
Bob Barker's an old white guy, so now he's just seen as a racist to everybody. So
yeah, he's senile. You know?
he might be, but I'm just saying he's.
I wouldn't fuck with Bob Barker. I'm just throwing it
No,
out
you
there.
don't fuck with Bob Barker, dude. He'll
Super
fuck you up.
God tier Joe, the legend, back at it again.
Team Garza. What's up, Team Garza? Thank you for the donation, man. You have been a beast all week long. Thanks for joining my gaming stream the other night, man. You made it all worth it with a couple of donations. Thank you, bro.
I caught some of that. You were playing when I went in there. You were playing Madden.
Was it? Oh, last night? Okay, yeah. This dude, I was up this morning streaming Diablo for some reason. I don't know what I was doing. But anyway, okay. AEW, All Elite
Really quick,
Wrestling.
I found that graphic before you get into that. AJ Styles had 26 wins all year televised. Asuka was 27 at number 4. Braun had 29 wins, number 3. Finn Balor, number 2, 31 wins. And number 1 with 35 wins is, who do you think?
Reigns.
Styles.
R-Truth.
No, it was Seth Rollins. So
Wow.
yeah, Styles is 5. Asuka
Well, I figured
4.
Seth Rollins because he's had one hell of a year.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Yeah.
Seth,
Yeah.
remember last year? Last year, AJ was the guy. This year, I would say Seth and Becky.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
So with AEW, I've yet to speak to both of you about it. And one of the things I found most interesting out of all of it is that there's a huge name that hasn't been incorporated or involved at all, and that's Kenny Omega.
There's a reason behind that, though.
So I have heard, several times this week that there's a source saying that the two members of, the previous ties to, everything else is Kenny Omega, Marty Scurll, were the two main elite members who are yet to turn down the possible WWE deals being offered.
He's under contract with New Japan, though.
He is.
Yeah, Kenny Omega's still signed with New Japan, and Skrull's still in Ring of Honor.
I don't know where. I think you can't leave. I don't think he can actually have a discussion with WWE until his contract ends.
Yeah, he can. He cannot have a discussion with WWE right now, and he also definitely cannot be announced for something like AEW. So that should be the reason.
Plus, Wrestle Kingdom is coming up on Friday, so
yeah, they have.
He's more worried about that than he is his announcement.
Yeah,
but what they're saying here is that they're very active in trying to convince Omega to join WWE, with several current superstars, including Xavier Woods, AJ Styles, and Seth Rollins, helping to convince the cleaner to join WWE. They're also offering him in language aspirations to help him grow his gaming, channels and stuff that he wants to do.
He will not do well.
This corroborates separate reports from Dave Meltzer's that said that Cody and the Bucks turned down 7-figure deals from the WWE. It also says, I've been told that Kenny Omega has a sit-down meeting with Vince and Triple H over the next week, with WWE purchasing his plane ticket from Japan.
I don't buy that at all.
I'm not saying to take it with a grain of salt, but it is interesting to mull over. So it is understood this meeting is to negotiate terms for the contract offering, and when Omega will be out of contract, and decide whether or not to sign. This is likely why he doesn't feature in the video reveal for All Elite Wrestling. So, like you said, though, he's still signed with New Japan, so that doesn't mean much. But I just find it interesting that you've seen nothing with him, full silence.
I'll take him in NXT. I'll take Kenny Omega in NXT.
But Vince won't do that.
Right. That can't happen because he could come to NXT, but it will eventually lead to him going to the main roster. Therefore, stay in New Japan. I don't watch him that much, so it sucks. I don't get to watch Kenny Omega that much because I just don't watch New Japan that much. But I'd rather him stay there and not see him than see him come to NXT.
Vince is going to want a name like Kenny Omega on the main roster like that.
Probably.
But I don't know, though, because
look at Shinsuke.
The way they're depleting NXT lately, they might shipped him over there just to make NXT, because, look how big a name like the other people were there.
Well, AEW just signed Britt Baker. So,
right, I saw that, yeah.
Of course they did.
Yeah.
And just so you guys know, Omega's contract ends, I guess, January 31st of this year.
It's every January.
He's definitely making the Rumble then.
No, he already said, and it was said before, that he wasn't making the Rumble, but that's why WWE is offering him, apparently, everything from a 7-figure deal. They said something like $3.5 million was being offered, plus help for his gaming aspirations, and a lot of merchandising deals and stuff too. So,
and I'm pretty sure Marty Scurll re-signed it with the Ring of Honor.
Yeah, really? I'm not up to date with, but
yeah, they got to pay somebody over there because they're losing everything.
Super chat. A lot of Balor's wins are against Jinder My Balls.
Jinder My Balls.
Yeah. Scurll just started a new faction over there too. So
yeah, he might be gone. He might be done with them.
Super chat party.
Zach Connor.
Imagine a women's tag team elimination chamber.
They don't have that many.
Didn't they do that? Oh, the tag team.
No, not tag team. Well, no, there's about
why would they
listed off before?
There's 8 or 9 women's tag teams. Where the fuck have I been?
Why would they do that?
That they can throw together, or that they have,
they need a few more women.
They got the Iconics,
like our real tag team.
Yeah,
Iconics, Rose and DeVille.
Squad.
Oh, right, Squad. Forget about that.
Riot Squad. Then they could do things like Asuka and Naomi. They have Nia Jax and Tamina.
Yeah.
My all-time favorite PPV match was when The Overtaker threw Mike Farley off of the cell at Rage in a cage. OMG Crystal, pass me the bucket again. Velp, there goes the chicken.
Lackluster NC 2010. If you guys missed it yesterday night, Justin Bailey returned to the show. Me, Ken, and Justin Bailey, and we had a really great segment the other night. I'm actually putting the audio version up on Patreon because it's pretty funny when we were talking about the Tommy in a wheelchair and Justin Bailey's earlobes and shit. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I got everyone's addresses, man. I got everyone's fucking addresses, man.
I see WWE going with the 94 Rumble finish this year with the women. Also, thank Ronda for the women's tag titles. She handcuffed the women's division.
Oh my god.
Wow.
That makes sense.
Sean Gordon, thank you, bro.
But the Rumble 94 finish was not supposed to happen.
What do you mean?
I don't think it was supposed to happen with Brett and.
No, they planned that. No, you're thinking of the one later. No, the
right.
Brett and the Batista one.
Yeah, with Batista and Cena.
Yeah,
that wasn't supposed to happen.
Brett and Luke
That's when Vince came out and blew out both his quads.
Yeah, that's how you know it wasn't supposed to happen.
Vince just looked so pissed sitting down in the ring. That was the best visual.
Yeah, just sitting.
He just fell down.
That was amazing, man. What an amazing ending. Especially the Luger and Brett one. That was they landed beautifully.
So perfect.
They landed perfectly. Listen, I'm up against the time. We got to get out of here. Believe it or not, it's I got to get out of here. I got to get to some stuff on Patreon. I got to get to touching myself in the dark. Is there anything you guys wanted to mention, Matt? I'm gonna let you go, bro. But Matt the Misfit.
I did want to mention something real quick.
Yeah.
The Nakamura thing. So are they giving him not? Like, what's going on? Is he getting is another rematch? I'm so confused on that.
He will get one because it's not a guaranteed rematch, but he's just going to keep attacking Rusev too.
See, that's the way I like it. If instead of getting just an automatic rematch clause, make them give you a rematch.
That's your Rusev's going to say, like, I want revenge. Put the title on. I don't give a shit.
And I think this is the most interesting Nakamura's been in a long time.
Probably all year.
Yeah,
because he's been weird.
Get too.
He looks
Anyways, thanks for having me on, guys.
Thanks, Matt, man. Matt the Misfit.
See,
he looks like a flipper, is what he looks like. Thank you, Matt.
Yeah, All Elite's going to be going hard at all WWE superstar contracts. Anybody that's already said that they've been in talks. You know, they've got that Khan family money. They're going to be, doing all they can.
Khan, like KHAN. I thought you were like Khan CON.
No. Khan! Yeah. They're going as hard as they can because they want to go ahead and there's a rush for talent to fill the roster. So they're going to do as much with as much as they have. And WWE is going to have to worry a little bit. So what are they doing in return? I know you're up against time, but really quick, they're shutting out venues due to All Elite Wrestling. So they're going to go ahead and try to do what they did with, the Madison Square Garden show. They're going to try and do that with other places saying like, they're going to, it's on their radar. They're not selling AEW. But if this starts taking off, WWE's history. They're not going to admit that it's competition, but they're going to go to the buildings and say it's us or them.
Wow, that's crazy. That's some kind of...
There's a reason why, they didn't go back to Madison Square Garden. There's a reason why, things... So WWE is going to shut out other venues if they start taking on the competition.
I am curious to see what they're going to say at the press conference, not just for the Double or Nothing event, but just like how much of this, like how much of AEW is like developed, what they got going on, what's like in the works. Because there's so many different rumors. I've heard JR's getting involved. I've heard they're trying to sign Jericho and Goldberg, apparently. I've heard so many different wild things about this whole thing. So I'm very curious to see once the press conference is done with like what's really going to like, is it just events for now, TV? What the fuck's going on? I'm really curious. My eyes are going to be glued to that.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting to watch. They've, regardless of what you think, nobody can come close to WWE or nobody can whatever the hell. TNA is boring. ROH has been stale. AEW is now here. What's going to happen? So at the very least, there's some kind of interest there. May fizzle out, may go nowhere in 2 years. It may be like, remember that, huh? But maybe it will go somewhere. You know,
AJ Styles wants to sign a very limited contract, doing as little as possible with as much money because he said that he's at the end of his career. The next contract I sign, I have a family, and I want it to be my last. So what's going to give me the most, bang for my buck? And a lot of people are thinking that he might go to AEW.
Right. Hang around in WWE another year or two and then go there for like 5 appearances a year.
He might even just do it when they start up because his contract is over, in the next 3 months. So,
shit, man, that's crazy. Well, guys, got to get out of here. Thank you for listening. Thanks for the donations, the support, the questions, the calls. And make sure you check out my Patreon, patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Justin Bailey returns this week. He returns to Corrupted Podcast. Justin Bailey, me, Ken, Corrupted Podcast this weekend. It's coming. Plus, Morning Madness tomorrow. I'll have those coming up throughout the week. And me and Leah's podcast is up as well. All the links to every episode, you can download all of them and whatever else, all on the Patreon website. So make sure you check out my Patreon. Also check out Connor's YouTube channel, youtube.com/okfaber for Connor. It's okfabe on YouTube. And he does a bunch of reviews from a different take that you guys can get from him. Plus, he's on Patreon too. And plus, he's on the Fight app. Download the Fight app, and Connor has a show Fridays, 8 p.m. Fight!
It's the best.
On the Fight app. It's crazy. Like they should be doing that. They should be hiring me for marketing.
Seriously.
Hit up Jake DeMarco on Twitter at CountdownEnded on Twitter. For Jake, I'm at CorruptedPod, at CorruptedPod, and my Facebook page, facebook.com/Joe Cronin Show. Like the page 4,000 have. You can too. Now I'm going to go touch myself. Rest in peace to Mean Gene Okerlund, man. Good night.